3-2 1A State Wrestling Championships on Smoky Hills Public Television. John Berlew and Fred Scott bringing you the action. We're right in the middle of the 126-pound weight class, where Derek Stanley of Oberlin is taking on Peter Koster of Hoxie. The score on the scoreboard, just a 1-point difference, but it looks like Koster of Hoxie will pick up 2 more, so that puts him up by 1, 3-2 the score.
Koster comes into this match 36-0. He's beaten Stanley several times this year, and of course that's the biggest fear of the coaches from Hoxie is, you know, it's kind of the old gunfighter syndrome, I say.
Right.
You never know when that guy's going to come out and get you because he wrestles just so many times. He knows everything you do. But we started out there with Stanley getting the takedown, and of course Koster working his way to an escape, and then another takedown to get to take the lead 3-2. So Koster took second last year as a freshman. He lost to Greg Ernzen from Immaculata 5-1, and last night in the semifinals he met Ernzen again and won that match 8-1. So Koster has come a long way in the last year, and he's really an excellent wrestler now. And of course Stanley is an excellent wrestler, or he wouldn't be here because he upset Moses Torres from Leota last night in the semifinals, who's been a good wrestler for years.
Koster is the visitor in this match, and Stanley is home. Koster up by 1 point now, 3-2, 17 seconds left in the first period. It wouldn't do me much good to tell you who's wearing what color. They're both red and white. Well, Koster has Hoxie on his chest, so you might be able to make the distinction that way.
Hoxie has more red on top.
That's right. There you go. Well, the first period is over with, and Peter Koster in the 126-pound weight class is up by 1 point. We've got a close match going on over Derek Stanley of Oberlin. Stanley's coming into this match 24-9, and Koster coming in 36-0.
Yeah, several of those losses, I understand, have been to Koster. So, again, Koster knows what it is to beat Stanley, and Stanley knows what it is to lose to Koster, but that doesn't mean anything tonight because this is for something they've never wrestled for before. This is for the state championship.
That's true. It's a different ball game, if I could use that analogy.
Well, yeah, we don't like ball games out here. But
1:49 on the clock in the second period. Koster still has the lead, 3-2 over Stanley.
Koster seems to be pretty much in control right now, but Stanley is able to keep his base up for the most part and not lose control of himself. So he's still in a position where he could score. Of course, Koster wants to keep him on the mat right there.
Anything can happen yet in this match. We're only 125 on the clock in the second period, and there's just a 1 point difference. Derek Stanley is down by 1, 3-2. Peter Koster with 3.
There's an attempt at a Granby roll by Stanley. Koster rode it across the top very nicely and didn't get himself in any danger at all.
Koster in the top position now, trying to get Stanley off his base, roll over. Still a very tight match, 3-2. Time running out in the second period.
When you got a 1 point match in the state finals, that's almost nothing.
That's true.
Anybody can score and anybody can win at that point.
Stanley trying to get out from under and unable to do so. Koster able to wrap him up. 35 seconds on the clock in the second period. Koster still in that top position trying to make something happen, but Stanley's just not giving up that base at all. He's maintaining. Koster's tried a couple of times to roll him over and get him off that base, but Stanley's able to get his balance back.
Of course, we've got to remember, as long as Stanley keeps it close, he has a shot. Last night, he wrestling against Torres, he was down. He was down the whole match. 1-0, 2-1. He got a point for stalling. in the third period, which tied the match up, and he went in overtime and won it.
And he won it.
It's still a long way from over. Coster, of course, taking the down position to see if he can score. He hadn't been too successful scoring from the top, so he's going to try the bottom again.
Well, this is it. This is the final period, and we still have that 3-2 score with Peter Coster of Hoxie on top. He's in the bottom position.
Got his feet. He's coming around for the reversal.
He does get the reversal, so that'll widen that score a little bit. 5-2 now.
He's in better position now. Of course, he's got Stanley where he's in a little bit of trouble there and a little bit of danger of going to his back. So Stanley's got to try to get that leg free, which looks like he's done now. And he's stepped over Coster's leg, but he's still got to get around to the outside. Coster trying to take him over the top for near fall points. And he's getting the count. So he's got at least a 2-point near fall coming.
And he picks up 2 more, it looks like. 1:17 on the clock. We're in the third period. 7-2 now the score. Peter Coster really in the driver's seat now, really in control of this match. We've got just 1:17 on the clock, as I mentioned. Coster in the top position.
Well, he doesn't have it won yet, but he's got a little bit of breathing room now, and he can afford to take a few more chances, or now he can be a little bit more complacent with himself. Except complacency usually gets you in trouble.
Yeah, what's interesting to watch here in this match is Derek Stanley, as you've mentioned, has lost to Coster a couple of times already. He's in a hole right now. 7-2 the score. Time's running out on the clock. But Stanley hasn't given up in the least. He's still fighting very, very hard.
He's heard about too many guys who came into the state finals against people who had beaten him 4, 5, 6 times during the year and wound up winning the match to be the state champion. So
that's absolutely right. And that's one of the wonderful things about this sport is that there's a lot of equity to it, and sometimes the whole stadium will be surprised. The whole Coliseum will be surprised.
The thing you have to remember about record, the very nature of a record is past tense, and it has absolutely nothing to do with tonight.
That's right. Well, apparently Stanley's coach has gotten that through to him because he's still putting up a struggle, not making it easy for Coster by any means. 7-2 the score now as time runs out in the third period. It looks like Peter Coster will win the 126-pound weight class, and you can certainly hear those Hoxie fans, can't you?
Yeah, they think he's got it.
Well, with just 8 seconds left, something miraculous would have to happen here for Derek Stanley to turn things around in this match.
I've seen it happen before, though. And,
anything can happen.
What is it? Yogi says it ain't over till it's over.
There you go.
That's exactly the way it works.
Well, time does run out. It doesn't happen here today. Peter Coster, the champion in the 126-pound weight class over Derek Stanley of Oberlin. Congratulations to Hoxie wrestler Peter Coster. His record will go to 37-0, and that's all it'll take to be the champion in the 126-pound weight class.
Yeah, he's just done something that's very difficult to do. He and Gable both finished up undefeated, and that's very difficult.
Congratulations to Coster. He comes over to sign the scorebook.
That'll vault Hoxie from out of the top 10 up to about 8th place. So they may be able to finish there. They're the defending state champions, by the way. They just didn't have the manpower to do it this year, but you look at their lineup this year, and they've got a lot of young kids who did very well here this weekend, and I got a feeling better watch out for them next year. We have our awards going on now at 119 pounds. In 6th place was Jay Music from Eudora. 5th place, Vance Morris from Blue Stem. 4th place, Lauren Beek from Hill City. Charlie Huell from Lincoln was 3rd place. Of course, Chad Flores, as you saw, from Silver Lake in 2nd, and Bill Gable from St. Francis, your champion at that weight.
I'm not sure if these wrestlers are more excited about getting the medal and the plaque or getting the hug from those girls that are giving it to them.
Well, I don't know. Which one would you be more excited about, John?
No comment. My wife's watching.
Ah.
We're ready to go in the 134-pound weight class.